actually open the visor and just use your glove and turn it into water rather than mist. And but you're doomed then. As soon as you open your visor, more water gets in, but you'll get a laugh out of it.
I think a fair bit of wind comes in as well, doesn't it, when you open your visor at 150 miles an hour? Because let's face it, they're still going pretty quickly in a straight line, even though it is wet. Jos Verstappen, the car snakes under braking. Can Minardi steal a bit of a march here, as they did in Montreal 2 weeks ago in the wet conditions? Got Verstappen much higher up the potential order than he would normally be, but he really is struggling to control this car.
Yeah, again, then all these drivers having their first lap in the rain this weekend, and I can imagine what they're saying inside the helmet. What is that? Where's the grip? What on earth is going on? They've turned into the first few corners and nothing happened. The car skidded across the road right to the outside, and it's like, what have we got here today? 10 seconds adrift then at the end of the first sector, comparing, of course, Raikkonen's fully dry lap with Verstappen's very wet lap. Down the hill, any sign of aquaplaning? No, there's not. Any sign of locking wheels under braking? No, he's got away with it. He goes on the karting line around the outside, gets the car straight. You get much better traction then to climb the hill.
It's quite interesting, isn't it, to listen when we have the onboard shots there to the throttle control, because throttle control on a day like this, even though they've got traction control, is still a critical part of controlling a Grand Prix car in these conditions.
Yeah, no point just burying the car straight into the electronics. You might as well just play the tyres in, keep them hooked up. Now he's getting some confidence though, pretty hard on the gas at the top of the hill there. Drains reasonably well downhill, and there's usually a puddle in the bottom of the hill, and you start climbing then up to the final chicane.
Well, he's quicker than Pitsonia, he's quicker than Panis in the middle sector of the lap, so beginning to recover now, Jos Verstappen, from a rather slow first sector as he comes out of the final sector. Can he get himself up around 15th or 16th place, I wonder? Oh, 57.3 would get him ahead of Panis into 15th. Oh, well ahead for Jos Verstappen.
Yes, he's much faster through the final sector. Apparently it's raining very hard down there now, so Justin Wilson is going to get the worst of it, last to run. But of course he too then is on the Bridgestone wets. It's put Verstappen up into 15th of the 17 runners so far to Martin Villeneuve without a time. There's Jos with the yellow visor on that really makes it look like it's sunny. I'm sure psychologically it makes you go faster in the rain and certainly gives you better visibility.
Justin Wilson then, once again, unlucky with the conditions as he was in Montreal, just out on the track at the wrong time. And luck is not falling Justin's way really this season. Has had some mega starts though. I mean, some of his first laps, it would be nice to put an isolated camera on him at one of the Grand Prix and just watch his first lap, because I think in Montreal he gained 5 or 6 places the first lap. There was one race where he gained 8 places, I think it was Brazil, on the first lap. I don't know what he does off the start line, but it's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, of course, if you're starting at the back of the grid, you've got a much better percentage chance of making places, but Justin Wilson has been electric on the first few laps of the Grand Prix, running P9 he was in Canada the last Grand Prix 2 weekends ago. Let's see what he can do this afternoon in these now becoming quite appalling conditions.
Just listen to his throttle work. Oh, we cut away from the onboard, but listen to his throttle work if we cut back to an onboard. See how he's using the gas. Hear the traction control there chattering. The rain drumming now down off the racetrack. This is real traditional Nürburgring weather. That's not a bad first sector time for Justin Wilson. It's quicker than Jos Verstappen managed, and certainly Verstappen was substantially faster than recent runners in the second and third sectors. So this is looking good for Justin. It
is indeed. He's certainly got a better front end on the car. He's just got to make sure not to make a mistake. He's getting the nose of the car in the corner much better than his teammate, enabling him to place the car, get on the throttle earlier. I'd be amazed, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, if he doesn't actually beat Verstappen here, because he's certainly looking handier through the first 2 sectors. Verstappen was good through the final turn, but again then they've got the nose right down to the apex, which is not easy in wet conditions. Having to hesitate on the top of the hill there. Working quite well for Justin Wilson, and I think he's a full second, 2 seconds up on Verstappen.
Certainly is, 3/10 faster in the middle sector, but the first sector was substantially faster, so we'll see as he goes through the chicane. You can see the white lines through there as well, the disturbed water. And this clearly Wilson using this as an opportunity to show what he can do at the wheel of a Formula 1 car, rather than hang his head and say, why should I have such bad luck to be out at this time. Driving for the line, Justin Wilson goes 15th, ahead of teammate Verstappen on a 54.5, 1.5 seconds faster than his teammate.
That's way off fastest lap, of course, but I was impressed with that lap from Justin Wilson. No doubt about it, that was good. Raikkonen's 29.9 was pretty spectacular in the dry too, James.
Yeah, today's qualifying session then very much a tale of two halves.